Hey guys, Eric at SideQuest Comics, and I am out and about once again in Wisconsin checking out a small show. Now, this is a show I visited before, but this one is a little bit different. It is the K-Town Toy and Collectible Show Holiday Edition, and they boast 90 tables at this show. So I don't know if it's really technically a small show with that many, but I'm super excited to check it out. I liked seeing the comics and the toys at the last time I visited this promoter's show a couple months ago. And, I'm ready to fill my box. They are saying they have food here. They have some contest giveaways. There is a cosplay contest. So they're boasting a lot of stuff here, so it should be pretty cool. And I'm excited to check out not just comics to fill my box, but toys and other holiday fun. So let's go ahead and go in and check out and see what they have. It sounds like there's a lot to check out, so let's go inside. Everything's half off. Ooh.
foam posters up there too. If you want to start a foam poster collection. Feel free to open it up, check it out. What issue?
Okay guys, I wrapped it up. It was a couple hours of digging through some bins. I found some cool stuff, found some stuff that I've didn't expect. So I got kind of a big stack here, filled up my comic box. So let's head home and I will show you guys what I found and some of the discoveries I found. So let's head home and we'll go over what I got. All right, guys, so we're trying a little bit of a different view today. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit with this big old stack that we got. But before we get into the stack, let's go over the show a little bit more. I mentioned before that I have been to this promoter show, the K-Town Toy and Collectible Show. And this was actually their holiday edition that they had in a bigger location. It was a banquet hall that, you know, they could fit. They said 90 different tables. So there was a lot to look at. I actually ran out of time. As usual, I got lost in some long boxes digging that right at the end, I had to kind of rush through it a little bit just to make sure I saw all what everybody had to offer at their booths. And I did pick up some cool magazines at the last minute type of thing. But yeah, I ended up getting lost in some of the long boxes, found some good deals, some good discount bins. But yeah, it was much bigger than the last time. So that was a little overwhelming, but still cool. A lot of cool, not just comics, but toys and other collectible things there too, as you saw in some of the video that I took. But yeah, it was kind of neat that they had this cosplay contest that enough people entered that they had a good turnout. I thought it was the first time they did something like this, so it's very cool to see. It helps get people involved into, you know, the small show and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of cool, and it was kind of neat that they had food and drink, that you can get snacks if you want. Shoot, they had a full bar there that if I wanted to get a beer, take a break or something, I could have. But yeah, I mean, time was very short, being a 1 day type of thing. But it is a lot of fun. I found some cool stuff. So if you guys want to check out K-Town Toy and Collectibles, you know, they have a Facebook group if you're local to the area. I'll put a link down below. You guys can check them out. They're on Facebook. So, you know, if you want to follow along and see when they have events coming up. With the holidays, I don't think their next event is until, I want to say February, but I could be wrong. They could have a date in January. But we'll, you know, I will definitely go out to the next ones. This is 2 now that I've gone to, and I've had a lot of fun at them and found some cool stuff. So anyway, with that, let's get to showing off some books, and I'm going to just jump right into it, guys. I only got books from a couple dealers here. Some of them, I saw some of my regulars that I've seen there before. Like one of them I always see, and he had me come over and dig through some dollar bins, and I found some. I saw some new vendors there, which was kind of cool to see and see some different stuff. So I'm gonna jump right into this vendor is one that I've seen before. I've gotten quite a few good comics from him. And they're not like break the bank type of comics, which I'm fine with. So, but the first one I found was this one, a Submariner comic. It's number 23. Let me see if I can zoom in on this for you guys so you can see a little bit better. Right there. There we go. So, yeah, number 23 came out in 1970. It's written by Roy Thomas. And we have art by Marie Severin. And this is actually the first appearance of this big bad villain whooping up on Submariner here. This is Orca, I think it is. So very cool. Add to the collection. I've gotten about, I think, half of this series now. So I'm chipping away at this series. So it's a good one to add to the collection. And then this all from the same vendor. These next couple. So this one is, I'm always on the lookout for some Supergirl. So I found an issue that I needed for this volume. I don't have a lot of this volume. This is Supergirl Volume 5. Number 8 came out 2006. Very cool cover of her fighting Power Girl here. This is Joe Kelly and art by Joe Benitez. And then along with the same series is I picked up number 50 here. Pretty cool cover. Number 50 came out in 2010. And this was pretty cool cover. Written by Jake Black, and the art is by Cliff Chang. Well, I'm trying to not get such a bad glare for you guys. And, here we go. There we go. Now you guys can see it pretty good. So, yeah, found some cool Supergirls that I needed. And then on top of going to the Bat universe, so I found, I'm surprised I found this for, they had a couple of this Batgirl special, which came out in 1988. This was a one shot basically of Batgirl. And it's the first solo title of Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. So this one I know is kind of collectible, mainly because it's a Mike Mignola cover. So a lot of people chase this one. I was happy to add this to the collection and find it. So very cool cover. I'm glad to have this one in the collection. And I only got it for a couple bucks, so I can't beat that. All right, next up, we have some more Batgirl. So like I said, I switched to the Bat universe a little bit, and I found this one from the new 52. It's number 0. So this was a primer for them when this for this new series launch. And this is from Volume 4. Came out 2012. And this has the actual origin of Batgirl in it. And then to go along with this one, I found number 1. This is actually a third printing for the new series here. And this one is a classic Adam Hughes cover, which is pretty cool. And I think this is a key. It's a first appearance of the mirror. So there we go. So you guys can see it kind of close. But I am getting such a wicked glare, guys. I tried something different, and I don't know if it worked all that well. You guys let me know in the comments. Very cool. One to have in the collection. But so that was all from the same dealer. And then walking around, I found another dealer. These were the ones that I mentioned that I got last minute when I was kind of trying to race through the half of the show that I just didn't get to. And I found a dealer that was a fairly new dealer. He said that he's just started setting up, and he had some old magazines. As you guys have been watching the channel, I've been really getting into these old magazines lately. And this one is kind of nostalgia for me. You put apes on a cover, I'm going to get it. And then what's better than just apes? Apes with guns, right? So I got Planet of the Apes. This is by Marvel, actually. And it was Curtis is the title for this that came out. I mean, that's very reminiscent of you know, the movies there with the Statue of Liberty on the beach jutting out. And it's a pretty cool magazine. This number 7 came out in 1975. There's like 29 issues. So I didn't actually know about this series till this con. I saw these I was like, what is this? I didn't know this existed. So of course I looked it up, see how many issues there were. And it's a very cool magazine. They have a lot more in here than just a comic. It's black and white, but they have like some photo stills and interviews from the actual movie series. Like this one says photos, fiction, and features. And you know what? Let me pause here. I'm going to bust this open and I'll show you some of it. All right, so there's the magazine out of the bag, guys. But yeah, as you can see there's like photo stills from the movie, which is kind of cool. I think that's partly why I got this. There's lots of cool stills from the movie. I'm a big fan of the original movie series that came out in the 70s. Here's the like table of contents so you guys can kind of see what they have to offer. So yeah, there's like interviews with the different actors. There's like kind of, I guess you'd call it like supplemental stories, the black and white art. So very cool series. This is kind of a new quest for me, is to chase some of this stuff down, because like I said, I'm a fan of this series. So I am all over this stuff. And I like that they added, movie type of stuff, interviews in here, just in the whole world of Planet of the Apes. So yeah, there's a couple different stories it looks like. So that's Planet of the Apes number 7. But not only did I get this one, I ended up finding this one also. And this one is number 10. This one came out also in 1975 by Curtis / Marvel. Writers were Jerry Conway, and the cover was Bob Larkin on these. And I think Mike Ploog did some of the artwork inside, which is kind of cool. So some pretty cool art in here, very different. There we go. That's a classic scene from Beneath the Planet of the Apes. I think at the time that's what they were kind of adaptation of it. So very cool. Yeah, the weird human cult that worshiped the bomb. So yeah, if you didn't know this existed, keep a look out for it. All right, so one of my buddies was there. I've known this dealer for a long time, and this is a seller that he always has really cool stuff. A lot of the pictures you saw in the beginning are from his booth that just has every little thing you can think of. And my buddy's booth is Time Warp Collectible. So if you guys are interested in stuff that you saw in my opening video, check him out. He's on Whatnot. I think he's on Facebook still, and maybe Instagram, that you can follow him and see some of the stuff. He has Whatnot sales on like vintage toys and collectibles. So, but he had comics there that he had for 50% off. So I am definitely going to be diving in a 50% off box. And some of the stuff I found, some cool stuff I found, was like this one, Gargoyle number 1 from his 4-issue limited series in the 80s. And Gargoyle number 1 came out in 1985, actually. And it's written by J.M. DeMatteis. And the cover is why I got this. This cover, a lot of people don't realize, is by Bernie Wrightson. And this is also the key. It's kind of a key, I guess. It's first solo series of the Gargoyle. I mean, he's been featured in series like The Defenders. And I don't remember what else. I think he appeared in stuff like Cloak and Dagger and stuff like that. But this is his first time he got his own series, and just the fact that Bernie did it, it's kind of cool. It's very different for Bernie, this type of cover. So that was Gargoyle number 1. Keep an eye open for that one. And then speaking of Bernie, I also found number 4 in this series, Bernie Wrightson, Master of Macabre. I love this line work on this that Bernie did. Very cool. I only need one more for this series. It's through Pacific Comics. I need number 5. They only did 5 issues of this. And basically what this is, it's an anthology horror comic where they kind of reprint stories that Bernie either wrote or drew and stuff like that. So very cool. Look back at some classic stories that Bernie worked on. And then here's one that I did not know existed. This is Predator 2, the movie 2, movie adaptation. And this is one of two. So there's two of these with a really cool photo cover of the Predator alien there. This came out in 1991. So about the time the movie came out. And yeah, I'll have to track down number 2. I didn't know that they made Dark Horse Comics made a movie adaptation of this. So very cool to find in the wild. I'll have to see if I can find number 2. And then I found something that I thought was really, really cool. And this is this tribute to Gene Colan. It's actually a Gene Colan tribute book number 1. This is the C cover with sketches he did for Dracula. And this basically reprints 6 classic stories that Gene Colan did. Now, let me show you some of the interiors. Yeah, so there's, and it's got some foreword by other, colleagues in the business that he knew. And what's interesting about this is part of the Hero Initiative, which is the first ever federally chartered non-for-profit corporation dedicated to basically strictly helping comic book creators in need. Like if they have some medical bills or, they need help financially. And this was set up that all the proceeds of, the sales of these big books, 100% too, I think goes to those artists to help them out in their time of need. So very cool. I don't remember this at the time. I mean, this came out in 2008. So I wasn't an active collector at that time, but it's very cool to see something like this. I'd never heard of this federal program that they have out there for artists. I think just recently I was talking about some of these older artists that I just totally missed out on them. A lot of them have passed on now. And there's very few of them left from this time era. So very neat to see something like this, these classic things. I mean, if I would have saw all 3 of these on the shelves, I probably would have bought all 3 because I looked these up and it had some really neat covers. I mean, there's a lot of people don't realize that, Gene was responsible for a lot of the look of Iron Man back in the day. And then he worked on so many other books like Doctor Strange. And I mean, Dracula is what I know him from, Tomb of Dracula. And it's kind of neat to see that stuff presented in this kind of form where, it's a reprint that you can read these and enjoy them. And I mean, this is kind of a classic one here where Dr. Doom appears in Daredevil, which I don't know if he ever did other than these 2 issues here. So very cool thing to keep an eye open for. If you see stuff like this for other artists, I would say pick them up. They're very cool to have and collect. So, and then this one was, I kind of wish I bought more of these, especially with the 50% off, because I didn't know. There's another one I didn't know existed and I had to have it. And this is Van Damme's Cyborg. So this is based on the movie. And this was put out by Canon. It's a Canon video comic. So it's a promotion of Van Damme's movie at that time when it was coming out on video. And I guess doing some research, this was only available in video stores, like for when the movie came out. And this came out 1989. It's a one and done by Peter Von Shelley and Van Cleve. And yeah, like I said, it's a promo for the movie that I had to have. So very cool, different thing. I am always on the lookout for these kind of things that are very different, odd, or just not the norm, right? It's not a normal comic. So a very neat thing to have in the collection. So keep an eye open for this one, guys. I may, if I ever see Time Warp Collectibles add another show, I'm digging in his boxes for more of these because these are awesome. And then the last one I got from this dealer is something, I like these 70s horror books. And this was one that I just never jumped into until just now, Black Magic. So this was a very short series, but some big names worked on this book. Now this one is number 2. It came out in 1973, but look, I thought the cover was cool, being an art person myself. And this was Joe Simon. And the cover is by Jerry Granitti. So yeah, it's number 2. Very cool cover. I did recently pick up number 1. this one. So, of course, when I saw number 2, I was going to grab it. Look at that big, nasty, ugly head. Or very cool Kirby cover there. So, yeah, when I saw this, I had to get it. Very cool. I'm in that series now, I guess, guys. All right, so keep rolling. This is a different dealer, but keep rolling with Black Magic. So I found another one in my buddy's dollar bins, but he had number 3 of Black Magic. I can't beat a dollar. Number 3 came out in 1974, and yeah, very cool. So now, of course, I got, I found 2, 3, and like I said, I got number 1 recently with a classic Kirby cover. So I think I'm well on my way. 1, 2, and 3, right, guys? So yeah, for $1, I picked up. It's a little rough. It's got some bangs and little tears there, but it's $1, and you know what? I can still open it and read the story just fine. So it's $1. It's expected, right? And then next up in the dollar bin, I only got a couple things from the dollar bin, but this was an upgrade. I got Secret Wars number 2, number 5 from 1985, and this is written by Jim Shooter. And the art in here, the cover is Al Milgrom. So very neat cover. This was actually an upgrade for me because the last one I had, also a dollar book, but it was a lot. The spine was really beat up and it had a lot of dog ears. But this one is a key. It's first appearance of Boom Boom from X-Men, New Mutants. What else was she in? X-Force, stuff like that. So yeah, this was an upgrade that I wanted. And then also in that dollar bin, I found some magazines. So I found some Savage Sword, which more magazines, more cool black and white art with, a lot of poster art in these magazines, which is one of the things I like about them. But this is Savage Sword of Conan, and this is number 138, came out in 1987. And then I also got 139 of the same series, same year, 1987. And the cool thing with these is both of these, the covers are Joe Jusko, and written by Chuck Dixon, and Ernie Chang did a lot of the art in these, which is cool. Like I said, it's the black and white art, and I do think, see, they have, this is a nice thing. They featured back in the day these old posters that a lot of times when you see these, they're kind of cut up and beat up, and these were really good shape for $1. So I think I'm starting to decide that I'm just going to chase this whole series. I'm finding these magazines for decent prices. Actually cheaper than what their cover prices are. So, and I really like the artwork that's in these. I mean, black and white line art, very cool, very different. So, but that's what I found from that dealer in his dollar bin. But then the main reason I went to this show is this dealer had some big books that I've seen in the past, and I was hoping he still had them. So one of the first ones I got, and this is going to complete basically not the run, but I guess overall this series, and this is Giant Size Supervillain Team Up. So I have all the other Supervillain Team Ups. I started getting the Giant Size 1 and 2, kind of like annuals, I guess you'd call them, but they're just giant size one shots. And this is number 2 with the team up of Dr. Doom and Namor, the Submariner. Now, this number 2 came out in 1975, and it's written by Roy Thomas. And this cover is by Gil Kane with Al Milgrom as the inker. So very cool to add to the collection. Now I think, as far as I know, my Supervillain Team Up collection is done now. I've been wanting to get this for a while, so I was happy that he still had this one. I love this duo. They crack me up. The battle of the egos, but yet they're teaming up. So very cool series. If you guys don't know about the Supervillain Team Up, keep an eye open for them. Sometimes they pop up in the discount bins. Sometimes they can be pricey. So it's one of those, if just keep your eye open. And sometimes if you're patient, you can find them. That's what happened to me. I was very patient and I found them instead of just buying a whole set. Okay, and then the last book. This was the big book for me. I had to save up a little bit for this one. And I did some deals with this seller. And I think because I've bought comics from him before, he knew, it's a repeat customer, he calls it. But this was a big one on my list since I saw it. And this is Space Ghost #1 by Gold Key Comics. Now, this one came out in 1967, and it is actually the first appearance of Space Ghost. So, of course, I wanted to get this. It's super great grade. I mean, the spine's a little beat up, as you guys can see there. But just the fact that it's kind of a big key book, that's why I wanted it. And being a fan of Hanna-Barbera, I really, ever since I knew this existed, I was like, yeah, I gotta get that. So there we go. That was the big book for the K-Town show and collectibles for me. And that is all the books from the K-Town show. If you guys like what I showed today, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, and let me know down below in the comments what you thought of all these books. Did you like the Planet of the Apes books? Did you like the Bernie Wrightson stuff? Or maybe you liked the stuff that you never knew existed, like this very cool Gene Colan tribute book, or, of course, Cyborg, a must-have, right, for every collection. Let me know down below in the comments, you guys. And while you're at it, I also have an Instagram account. If you want to head over to Instagram and give me a follow over there and like some of the posts, I am just starting my Christmas post over there since we're getting into the holiday season. So go over there, see what I got to offer. But guys, that's all I have to offer in this video of my out and about at the Kenosha Toy and Collectibles. So until next time, guys, when you're out there at your local cons for the holidays, happy questing, and we'll talk to you next time.